What's going on, guys? Welcome to Total Football, where we discuss everything football, and obviously we're sponsored by the One Football app for all your up-to-date football news. Make sure you scroll down into the description and download the app. Before we get started, a couple things, because I've been reading your comments from the last video. One, my mic, I've got a very good microphone. It's not that I need a new mic, it's just that I speak too quietly, innit? Flex and Josh always get on to me because I don't raise my voice, because I feel like, bruv, I'm wearing a microphone. Like, I don't have one of them presenter voices where it's like, oh, good evening, and that. Nah, like, I just speak how I speak in real life, innit? So, I'm going to make a conscious effort to speak a bit louder for the microphone, innit? Secondly, the backdrop. Honestly, there's no reason why I don't have a backdrop. You don't know I've got a green screen. I used to do that before, and it takes a little bit extra time, and honestly, I just couldn't be bothered. So, if you, man, want to design me a Total Football backdrop, a Rants Red Talk backdrop, either or, like, if you send them to my email address, which you can find, I'm pretty sure you can find it on my Twitter or my Instagram. If you send those over, like, I'll use the best ones. Like, that's what I'll say. Like, and I'll shout you out as well. So, if you want to do that and you want to see your backdrop used on my shows, then yeah, just send them through. Like, I'm not against it, but like, I'm not gonna be running around online looking for backdrops and all that. I had some other ones, I got bored of them, innit? So it's one of them ones where if you want your backdrops used and you want to shout out on the shows, then by all means you can make one and send them in to me. Like, I'd appreciate that still. What else have we got? Is that all? I think that's all, pretty much all. And anyone that follows me on Twitter as well, I wouldn't even call it a back and forth, innit, because it's not really a back and forth because I'm not responding. But you got that pundit donut. I call him the bumdit anyway, bruv, because man ain't doing nothing to me even call him a pundit, blood. Unofficial or not, innit, bruv. He'll always be unofficial because man's channel's going nowhere, innit. But obviously he was talking nonsense, and that a promoter sent him a message about doing this boxing match. He's pretended that he didn't receive an offer, even though I've got the screenshot. And then Terry's come out and said, yo, I've seen the screenshot, either accept it or shut up, pretty much. Then he's saying that I have to respond to him or else it's not going to happen, and talking all this nonsense. I don't need to respond to him, he's not my mate. With fights, it's just between the promoters and the fighters to agree something. So, like, if the fight doesn't happen, it's because he's shook, innit? Like, that's just what it is. Man don't need to chat to him. He wants me to talk to him to increase his engagement online. I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to piggyback this guy, bruv. You know what I'm saying? I worked too hard to get to where I am without just helping this guy grow for no reason. Like, if I'm going to help him grow and he grows, it's because he gets chinned at the event. Other than that, like, I'm not going to be piggybacking, man. So, that's that, innit? Let's go through to your questions. We got some good ones as well. First one, Marco Constable, it says, in today's hectic 9-to-5 world, many people barely have time to watch all the games of their team they support, let alone other leagues. They ingest football in highlights. Do you think over time it will create a culture of followers who don't understand the technical aspect of the game? Honestly, I think that we're already in that society now. A lot of people don't get football in it. A lot of people judge footballers and football on numbers only because they don't watch the game. They don't digest the game the way that we used to digest the game. Like I say, stats have their place in the game, but I don't believe that people should be pulling up stats every time to just make random points. You have to put the stats into context. Like, you're seeing a lot of Ronaldo and Rashford stats floating around, and the stats look good, but you have to take into account Ronaldo was a right winger playing for Manchester United. A right winger, a lot of the time in a 4-4-2 or in a formation where he was mainly playing out wide. Also, he came into a team where he had a lot of senior players around him. He wasn't a senior player, he wasn't on penalties, and he was actually a winger. Like, he wasn't like a wide striker like what Rashford is, effectively. He's a wide forward, a left wing forward if that's what you want to call it. Like, man that play FIFA, LWF in it, like, he's a wide forward in it, in that formation. Ronaldo didn't play in that formation. So to compare their numbers, it doesn't tell the full story. When I was growing up, man knew Zidane was a bad man without knowing how many goals or assists he got a season. Same with Iniesta, same with Pavel Nedved and all these other men, and Juan Riquelme and that. We never knew their assist stats and like how much ground they covered and how many touches of the ball they had. We never had heat maps. All we had was, is this man a baller, yes or no? And we did the eye test, didn't it? Now, loads of things have been thrown in. People are watching less football, but because of social media, they've got more of an opinion as well. So you're seeing loads of people talking about football and they don't really know shit about football. And it's unfortunate. And it's only going to get even worse, I believe. Even like, for instance, Haaland's a great example at Salzburg. Everyone talking like he's the next fucking Kylian Mbappe and that. His numbers look great, but if you actually watch his game, you see what kind of forward he is. Like, he's not very great on the ball. Like, he's not. He's like Lukaku, just a bit with a bit more technical ability. But he's like another Rom. He will always bag you goals, yeah. But there's rumours he's going to Borussia Dortmund, and I think that that's his level. I don't think he's ready for an elite club yet. Even though he's bagging these numbers, he's nowhere near like a Kylian Mbappe where, boom, like fucking Paris Saint-Germain could go to Real Madrid and that. Haaland's not there, innit? But on paper, it looks like he's there and people are gassing him up. Off a few clips of YouTube, like, man in my group chat will compare him to Ruud van Nistelrooy. I'm like, come on, get the fuck out of here, bro. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it happens, innit? We live in the YouTube era, the highlight era, where man can put together a 3-minute video and make someone look like an absolute fucking worldie. So I do think that with people watching less football, you are starting to see a culture of like football fans that really, they don't analyze the game in the depth that it once was analyzed. So absolutely, I think that that's a brilliant question. Let me know what you think about that, guys. I really liked that question. I really did. Next one. It says Hamza with mad odds. I think I read out a question from you last time. It says your reaction to Robbie and his interview with talkSPORT. I reacted a lot of online because I believe that they brought Robbie in, yeah, for the numbers that it would generate, and also they drew him out, innit? They brought him in unprepared. He probably didn't know that he was going to be ambushed by Simon Jordan and Jim White. Fucking bunch of pricks, both of them. Simon Jordan is a pompous dickhead, and Jim White here went down massively in my estimation. I didn't know much about him. Obviously, I know man from the transfer show on Sky Sports, but I didn't know that he was a proper prick. All of his questions were loaded. There was an agenda behind why they invited Robbie on, and even though I think that Robbie handled himself very well, these guys had a very, very clear agenda from the beginning that they were trying to press. And obviously, I think that Robbie went in there with certain things that he wanted to get off his chest, and they kind of curveballed him in it. So even though Robbie said what he wanted to say, I think that there could have been better responses to some of the things that they said. But I think that Robbie was caught off guard, and I think that they did that on purpose. My response is fuck talkSPORT and fuck all of these other, well, there aren't any other, but just in case, the other mainstream pricks here that think that it's alright to try fire shots at fan channels. Because you know what's mad? Fan magazines existed before fan channels. Ray Parlour, the absolute numpty, come out saying, oh, why wasn't AFTV about when we were playing? Because YouTube didn't exist, you fucking retard. Do you know what I mean? And I mean that in the nicest way. I don't even know if I can say retard no more, because it's not very politically correct. I don't want to offend no one, innit? So, apologies if I did. But real talk, that's how I felt, innit? He's a fucking numpty. What kind of bullshit is that? Like, I saw another tweet and a man said that's like saying they should have used fire engines during the Great Fire in London. You fucking idiot, Ray Parlour. And he's been on AFTV as well, so you know that these men would just do anything for a check. The real thing is, yeah, how many of you lot have seen players like Michael Owen? I don't really want to name check too many ballers because actually I don't dislike them, innit? If I don't like someone, I'll stick it on them. Michael Owen was a world-class footballer in his prime. Shit pundit. So when pricks like Simon Jordan are saying, what did Troops and DT do before they were on AFTV? That's irrelevant. Michael Owen was a world-class footballer, won a Ballon d'Or, and he's a shit pundit, bro. Like, what you did before doesn't mean a damn thing. Either you know football or you don't know football, innit? It's that simple. And also, being a pundit is not just about knowing facts. You're also an entertainer. You are supposed to hold someone's engagement for a certain amount of time. Michael Owen cannot do that. We can, which is why our numbers speak for ourselves. So we are fucking entertainers as well as people that know about football. Some of us may know more than others, more about football than others, but the bottom line is it's entertainment, innit? So fuck Simon Jordan, fuck talkSPORT. Fan channels not only are here to stay, but soon all of these men are going to want to buy fan channels because they can't stop us. They can't stop the rise of fan channels. It is what it fucking is, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? When the Uber come through, the black cabs complain. When the self-checkouts came through, the people that worked on the checkouts complain, but it's part of life, innit? It's evolution. We move forward, innit? The future is online fan channels. So it's, what can we fucking do, innit? Like, they can go fuck themselves, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with these pricks and tell them about themselves. I'll tell them where they can suck as well, bro, if they think they're going to talk over me on the radio like they did to Uncle Robbie. It's a mad thing. Alright, next one, at Gibbo175. I had to read this. I don't usually read United ones, but this made me giggle. They said, Shaw must have gone up a notch in your estimation after that tweet trolling Lukaku. Lukaku's a pussy hole, innit? The Luke Shaw thing made me laugh for the simple fact that football banter's football banter, innit? And obviously Lukaku leaked the sprint stats of Luke Shaw, and obviously we know that Luke Shaw is Luke Shaw, innit? But Luke Shaw got him back after Inter got knocked out of the Champions League, and I found it fucking hilarious. Definitely, bruv. Like, credit where credit's due, yeah. The timing, I know Luke Shaw had that gun loaded for a while, innit? So the timing of the shot was impeccable, bruv. Shout out to Fortnite as well. I've been gripped on that game. Alright, at 11 Kyle, choose your gunman. Alan Boxic, Marcelo Salas, bad man, or Gabriel Batistuta. It's got to be Batistuta, bro. It's got to be, bro. Anyone that knows me knows that I support United because of my Uncle George, innit? Like, rest in peace, my G, yeah? And listen, yeah, Batistuta is one of the strikers that, man, had me modelling my movement on when I was in the park training up before obviously I went to pro clubs as a little kid in my grandma's back garden a lot of the time. And Gabriel Batistuta, yeah, when it came to finishing, bro, elite gunman, elite gunman. My uncle used to tell me, yeah, with my movement, stay within the width of the goal because the goal don't move, blood. Second touch, ras it, blood. The goal don't move. And Batistuta was that guy. On the swivel, blam. Top corner, bottom corner. Bruv, real gunman, innit? Like, strikers like that don't exist no more really in the game. Like, real gunman. They're just gunman. That's it. Like, Lewandowski is probably, like, the closest to, like, an old school, like, just gunman up front that you can get, innit? He's up there. I think Edin Dzeko's similar as well. Like, he's got the build. Edin Dzeko's technical, but he's just a gunman. Get the ball out your feet and just wrap it, innit? And for me, Batistuta, I'm surprised a lot of people, like, I don't hear his name more when man are talking about all-time great gunmen. Do you know what I'm saying? Salas and Zamorano done their thing at the same time. But for me, bro, Batistuta was different level. From that era of football, guys, let me know in the comment section, like, who were your gunmen? Like, there were some real gunmen, yeah, in the Italian league at that time. So, yo, drop some gems, man. I want to see some nostalgia in the comment section. At Mr. BHAFC, what's your thoughts on Messi winning a double hat-trick of Ballon d'Ors? Big up your content, bro. I'm happy for Leo. I think that he deserved that Ballon d'Or because, like, when Modric won it that year, I found it was a bit booky, innit? And the thing is, I feel like people don't judge Messi the same way they judge other people. They judge Messi against Messi. And that's not really fair. Do you see what I mean? Man will say, oh, Messi had a bad season and he scored 55 goals. Just because he's had seasons where he scored 60 and that. If they judged other players the heights that they judge Messi, yeah, a lot of these men wouldn't even be in any kind of conversation. So I'm super happy for him. I think he deserved it. And yeah, like, it's very impressive. He's the best footballer of his era. I don't think anyone cannot. Well, people can argue that, but I don't think it's an argument worth having, innit? At Samuel _ Idile, is Pep done at City? It doesn't look like City will retain this year, and due to their defensive struggles, it's unlikely they'll win the Champions League. One defender got injured, and it doesn't look like Pep can get them organised. Is he off to another country? In my personal opinion, and I don't have any any intel, I think Pep's done out here. I think Pep's got one more season at Man City, tops. Pep's like Mourinho, where they get in clubs and get out, like, within 3 years and just win things, innit? Them, man, one thing that Sir Alex Ferguson showed that Pep hasn't shown, Mourinho hasn't shown, is he's shown that not only can he build a team, but he can evolve a team and continue to build them and sustain success over numerous years by knowing when to let players go, when to bring new players in. Sir Alex Ferguson was brilliant at that. Like, he knew when to let David Beckham go. He knew when Beckham's goose had cooked. Like, he knew when Beckham had peaked as a footballer to let him go. He knew when Wayne Rooney had peaked as a footballer and wanted to let him go, and we kept Rooney beyond that. But you saw that at the time, when Ferguson could have cashed in on Rooney, he'd seen that, you know what, he's lost a bit of the bite he used to have as a young, and he's not really taking players on anymore. Like, 9 times out of 10, Ferguson knew the right time to sell a man. The only player that he said that he made a mistake with was Jaap Stam. Everyone else, he said, you know what, it's time to let Ruud van Nistelrooy go now. And let's evolve the football. And let's go with the Ronaldo focal point and the Tevez and Rooney little interchange thing. And that's not for me to stay on Manchester United because it's a total football show. But Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest football manager of all time. So that's why I will use him in the example. Pep and them, man, ain't really shown that, yo, I know when a man's goose is cooked, we need to move them on. Mourinho befriends these dons, yeah, and he'll ride it till the wheels fall off. That's why he's probably trying to sign Matic at fucking Tottenham now, blood. Matic and Fellaini are getting linked with Tottenham because Mourinho likes to ride things until they fall apart. And Pep's another one where he'll buy, get his team, and then he'll bang those players for like 3-4 years and that. And in football, you need, every 3 years is like a cycle. You need to be bringing in fresh blood and getting rid of man. Even if man's not done out here, you still need to be looking for someone that's hungrier, more enthusiastic, probably younger. You have to just keep on moving it. And I think that players get fed up of Pep because he is a drill sergeant. He is very meticulous. He is a bit of a wild brother. And after 3 years, certain men are just like, you know what, bruv, man's tired of all this face grabbing and just shut up, blood. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with Mourinho. After 3 years, certain men are like, yo, man's done with you drawing me out, yeah, in interviews. Like, I'm done with all these things. Like, fuck it. Like, we've won and the tools get dropped, innit? And man start falling apart. And I think that, yeah, I just think that their man management and knowing when to call it a day with certain man, I think that they haven't quite grasped that, innit? And that's why their success doesn't last continually as long, and they have to keep going to different places. That's just my opinion, innit? Let me know what you think of that opinion, and also if you have other opinions, let me know as well, because I'm interested to know. At the end of the day, it's all about opinions, innit? Man ain't got facts and stats, but I do know that Mourinho and Pep are like 3-season managers, like, and I think that that's the reason. There's no right or wrong reason, because, bruv, like, you know. Let me know. Next one, Christian J. Also, you lot, let me know what the volume's saying, innit? Because I listen to the thing back on my Mac, or I listen to it on my headphones. I don't watch it on the TV. Maybe the people complaining about the volume I may be watching on the television, because I know some of you lot do that. But let me know what the volume's saying. Christian J. If you had to choose one club from the other top 5 leagues to support, which club would it be and why? Hashtag Total Football. For me, it would probably be Dortmund. It didn't even take me long to think about that. The reason why it would be Dortmund is I just feel like Dortmund's philosophy, they've got loads of young players. They play an exciting, expansive brand of football. They seem to have a bit of swagger about them. They seem like the cool kids, you know what I mean? Like, Bayern Munich have the heritage. they have all the trophies and all that, but Dortmund just seem really cool. Like, do you know what I mean? The players just look like they're having fun. Like, everything about Dortmund just like appeals to me, innit? Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put into words almost. But like the aura I get from the club, the players that play for the club, and just everyone associated with the club is just that these men are just out here having fun, and it's just wavy. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me know if you could articulate that a bit better than me. Like, if you're a Dortmund fan, or if you also would be a fan of Dortmund, like, tell me why, specifically them, because there's something about that club that just seems very wavy to me. At Awazi2, after Ronaldo and Messi, who do you think will take over as world best consistently? Bruv, I hope there isn't a consistent world best, because I grew up in an era where 1 year Kaká was doing things, then Rivaldo was doing things, Nedved was doing things, Henry was up there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love, ideally, the Ballon d'Or to be changing hands every year or 2 years, because that means that football's thriving. I think Messi and Ronaldo's dominance here shows not only how good they are, but also how, yeah, just how little there really is going on at the top level in football outside of these two, man. Like, Ronaldo's showing a decline now and everyone's getting depressed. But man shouldn't be getting depressed, because there should be bag of ballers, like, taking over. But right now, no one's really standing out apart from Neymar and Mbappe for me. So I think that Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, because I think they will split up. One of them will leave the club and go somewhere else, because I think they both can't be franchise players, innit? I think one of them will want to carry a club on their back. So one of them will probably end up at Real Madrid. But yeah, hopefully we start to see the emergence of better players at the top level, and we start to see the Ballon d'Or get moved around, and yeah, and just become a bit more exciting again, because the whole Messi or Ronaldo Ballon d'Or thing is kind of boring still, not even gonna lie. Alright, last and not least, and also me saying that it's boring, that's also the reason why man are just judging these man way harshly, because man are bored of seeing them win it all the time. That's just what it is. The facts are they deserve to be winning it, but we're bored, bruv. Show us something else. Last one. Emmanuel Ekotokan, it says. Ancelotti to Arsenal thoughts. If Arsenal did get Carlo, I think it would be a brilliant signing. He'd automatically be their greatest manager ever in terms of what he's won. Like, his CV is brilliant. I think he is one of, or could be, the only manager to win a Premier League title, or a league title in, is it 4 countries, Carlo? He won it in Spain, Germany, Italy, and England, if I remember correctly. Did he win it in England, or did he just win a cup in England? I can't even remember, guys, but I'm sure you lot know, innit? I think that Carlo's done it 4 times. And I think that Carlo's on his own. And if he's not on his own, it might just be one other person. But either way, he's an elite manager, innit? Like, no disrespect to Arsene. He's done a lot with Arsenal. But ultimately, like, what Carlo Ancelotti's done is different. Arsenal would be one of the smaller clubs on his resume. And that speaks volumes. The biggest club on Arsene Wenger's resume is Arsenal. So, and that's not a shot at Arsenal either. That's just facts, bruv. Like, that's just facts. The other day, I think ESPN released, like, the most tweeted about clubs of the year, and Arsenal went in the top 10. So, Arsenal are the biggest club in London for sure. But in England, Manchester and Liverpool were 3rd and 4th on the list after Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's the levels. So, I think Carlo Ancelotti would be an amazing signing for Arsenal. I don't think he would go to Arsenal, because I don't think they would have enough money to fix the problems that they have. I don't think Carlo would wait around for 2 or 3 seasons and be like, yeah, we're going to be patient and we're going to change the team. I think Carlo is the kind of manager that likes to come in with a good foundation and a little bit of money to spend. Don't get me wrong. If he goes to Arsenal, listen, it's brilliant for the Premier League. It's brilliant for Arsenal. And I still think that he will do well. Whether he will win trophies is another thing, but I think that he will make them, well, he would make me take them a lot more seriously. That's for damn sure. That's all I can say on that. So, honestly, for the Premier League, it would be nice. But for me personally, I don't want to see him go there, innit? Because he's a serious fucking manager. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. That was your Total Football, sponsored by the OneFootball app. If you haven't gone down into the description, make sure you go down into the description, download the football app for all of your up-to-date football news. And also, you've got your clothing code in there as well. Man like Rants at the checkout. That's always going to be there. I'm going to try and keep that live ongoing, so you lot can always pick up some fresh drip if you want. Make sure you follow me on the Instagram and the Twitter at Rants and Bants. And as I said about the backdrops as well, guys, if you want to get those through to me, the best ones will get used and I'll shout you guys out on YouTube. And if you've got like an Instagram or a Twitter where you promote your work or whatever, if you leave that handle in the email as well, man, will kind of put you in the description as well. Big up, guys, and I'll catch you soon.